Well, you know what? I'm just not sleeping very well at all. So my routine at the minute is I'll go to bed somewhere between 2:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. No, I'll be in bed about 2:30 and I'll fall asleep at about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I've got no signal in the bedroom, which is good on one front, but and so I've been trying to either listen to, I need something to fall asleep to because I've got tinnitus, and that is just like I don't know what's happened since I've stopped doing gigs. The tinnitus has got a lot worse. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that, but it's got a lot worse. So I need some sort of noise to fall asleep to. So I got one of those like go to sleep music hippie things, where it's just like some droning stuff, and then you get one of them Irish pipe things in it and stuff like that. And I just ended up listening to that, and when that finished, I was still wide awake, so that didn't work. And I'm a big fan of that Audible. So there's a load of books, and the history of modern Britain was a good one for a couple of weeks. And then I actually really got into it. So I used to put it on and then just listen to it. But there's one on quantum physics in particular that is partly his voice, and it's partly that you actually have, you have to have some sort of brain cells to understand it. And thankfully, I don't have those brain cells. And instantly, it's like being back at school where you're learning something that you just have no hope of actually any of it going in. And I found that instantly sends me off to sleep like it did in school. I found that anything where you actually have to think about it, that's me gone. Absolutely gone. But yeah, I like what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to be, that's my symbol that. I'd really like to go to bed at about 12 and wake up somewhere like 6:45. Get out, take the dog out. That'd be my perfect routine. I'm nowhere near it. Absolutely nowhere near it. And the other thing I tried is I used to smoke a bit of weed. Well, when I say a bit, I used to smoke weed every day. And I really wouldn't have an issue sleeping after I'd done that. And I hadn't done it for a very long time. And then I managed to get hold of a tiny bit. And I thought, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put quite a bit of it into this cigarette and have a musician's cigarette before I go to bed, and it'll help me sleep. Okay, so I had this thing. And what I'd forgotten was that weed makes me feel like a 2-year-old. And I'm unstable on my feet. I have to like grab things. I'm like falling down. I can't really process things. If I had a joint and then you said, right, you've got to go and make a cup of tea, I'd still be looking at a cupboard after an hour and a half, trying to either remember what it was you told me or just trying to get my shit together after pulling a whitey enough to actually open a cupboard door. I do feel like an absolute toddler, and I just can't do it anymore. I'm too old. I'm far too old. And so anyway, last time I had it, I got a beer as well, and I thought, I'll tell you what, it's been that long, I'm going to have it, and I'm going to have a little party. So I had my beer, I had a bottle of beer, and I hadn't had beer for a long time. And I had this just regular, I guess for anybody who smokes, just a regular thing. And I managed to make it up the stairs to my bedroom. And then, because I'd had a beer and I'm 43, the you need a piss had kicked in. So I was like, oh, fuck. So I was trying to balance not having a whitey, but also not pissing myself. So I kind of got myself enough together to get to the bathroom, right? Now, You know when you stand up too fast and you're gonna get that head rush, right? Well, that happened, and I thought, oh shit, I'm gonna pull a whitey. So I just slapped something then with my ring. I'm gonna have a whitey. While I was having a piss, the whitey started kicking in. So I was trying not to piss all over the floor, and I was like holding both sides of the walls there, and turned around, managed to right. And I got so close to pulling this off. But as I got into the bedroom, I just basically passed out. I fell forward into the bed frame, knocked myself out for God knows how long. And when I woke up, I remember it happening, right? And I remember being able to do fuck all about it. And then I was out cold for a bit. And then I was like Thelma on the fucking floor, like Scooby-Doo, looking for her glasses. Eventually found the glasses and then picked them up. And I thought, shit, I've gone blind in one eye. I've knocked my eye. Where's my fucking eye? And then I realised that one of my lenses was not in the glasses frame, was over the other side of the room, and I managed to find that. And then Deb was like, "Oh, what the hell?" Well, I woke her up, and I was like, I don't feel very well. Oh, she was like, "Have you had a fucking joint?" And I was like, yeah. And she said, "You look like shit." And it's like right in the middle of a whitey, just knocked myself out. So that kind of put me off doing that for a while. She glued my glasses back together, bless her. I'm just feckless, really. I'm still a teenager in an old man's body, and I still think I can do things that I really have no chance of doing. But there you go. Let that be a warning to you. And stay away from drugs, kids. It's really bad for you. There you go. And listen to quantum physics, because that's really, really cool, and you'll learn loads in your sleep. Another thing that I kind of get a little bit annoyed by, this is just stuff that I get annoyed by. Toilet roll use of the young people and toilet rolls. So you could buy like a pack of 24 toilet rolls, and at my age, 24 toilet rolls, what you're looking at, how many? So like you go through two toilet rolls a month. I guess if you're a fella, I don't know what it's like for girls, but for a fella, you're looking at 2 toilet rolls a month, right? I suppose, unless you've got a bad diet. Right, if you got a good diet, definitely 2 toilet rolls a month. So, and you get them from one of them cheap places like B&M or whatever. I mean, there's hardly anything on toilet roll. And, you buy fruit and this and that and the other, and you just eat well, you look after yourself. That consumption is very, very small. But they're young. And I'm talking about all young. So we're talking about under 16s. What the fuck? How much do they use? It's astounding. It's like 2 a day. And I don't know how you can do, how many times you have to wind it around your hand. I mean, I just don't understand. It can't be good for the fish, can it? That, like all that shitty paper floating about and fish eating it. I bet you're going to get some sort of at the bottom of the sea. I bet the transformation of these fish has already begun. They're like half fucking mummy covered in shit with a shark's head and with fucking legs, and go around and eating all the plastic. And then they're going to develop where they could come on land. I'm talking about Animal Crossing again. The only thing that game is missing is a predator that is above me in the food chain. I would love for one of those mutated things at the bottom of the sea to get on land. like on some sort of full moon, transform into this like alien style shit-eating, shark-headed with legs and probably wings, and then I have to learn martial art off one of them rats at the shop. You know, they'll show me some martial arts moves, and then every week you've got to have some sort of battle with this fucked up monster, and you know, you get extra points for killing it. I'll tell you another thing that really annoyed me over lockdown, and that was the price of tin pineapple. I'm a big fan of tin pineapple, and I know Chris Edgar's a big fan of tin pineapple too. I really, really like Crush. I'm a big fan of baby food. I like things mashed up and squashed up. I like protein drinks and various things like that, where everything's just in a kind of slime that dribbles down the inside of your throat. I'm a big fan of that. And I was really annoyed with whoever is in charge of tin pineapple. You couldn't find it, and when you did find it, it was almost, I don't know, it was just so expensive. I remember before lockdown, it was about 89p or 90p for tin pineapple, and I'm talking slices or chunks. Not entirely certain about Crush, but since lockdown happened, I think, and I really am not into conspiracy theories, but I think Del Monte had something to do with COVID, so they could put the price of their pineapple up to £1.20 in booths. And I think Booths got their little cut out of it too. I think Del Monte had an awful lot to do with it. Also, you don't see lychee anywhere now, do you? You don't really see lychee anywhere. I used to like a lychee. I know it looked like an eyeball, but I did like it. You don't see that anywhere. I know John Bingley's a big advocate of fruit salad, but I don't know. It's a bit too bitty. I'm just a big fan of Crush. I'd be happy with a £2 tin of Crush in the bottom of my stocking at Christmas instead of a tangerine. I think that would be quite cool.